So, Jason,
Yeah.
I sent you a video about a week and a half ago about the Donkey Kong Country Returns remake. And you liked it.
Yeah, it was a pretty good video.
Yeah, it talks about being disappointed with it, the omission of the admission of Retro Studios in the credits. It talks about how it's the 3DS port of the game, the fur textures were messed up, the presentation was kind of bonked, slow loading. Everyone online seems to kind of agree it is a half-assed port, and there's also broken multiplayer for certain parts of it. But there was one specific thing that was kind of tying into another topic we've been talking about back and forth, I don't know, over the past week or so, about what is fair to expect in a remake.
Well, because the point that he leads the video with is there's no extra content. It's just all the stuff that was here originally. And I was thinking watching the video, well, is that fair to expect a new re-release of this game to have? Because like when you're remaking a game, you need to make a choice, like whether or not you're going to accurately represent what was there, or if your job is to add a whole bunch of new stuff.
Right. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake being adding a whole bunch of new stuff.
Well, come on now. That's a completely... Final Fantasy VII Remake has nothing to do with Final Fantasy VII. It is not a remake of Final Fantasy VII. It is a different game called Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay, so you think that goes too far then, and like it's not fair to even call it Final Fantasy?
It's not a remake. It's a completely different game.
I have not played Final Fantasy VII,
even the
so I
same.
can't talk.
Like it's not even kind of the same game. So no, it's not a remake. That's a title. The title of the game is Final Fantasy VII Remake, but it is by no means a remake of anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this Donkey Kong Country port though, because I don't even think it's fair to call it a remake, seems
port.
bad, right?
I mean, it seems half-baked, but at the same time, like, do you want to play Donkey Kong Country Returns in a way that is not digging out your Wii or 3DS? Well, here it is.
Yeah.
And it seems like it succeeds in that. Omitting the original team from the credits, though, is bullshit.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for that. I know we've all sat through really, really long credit sequences before because it's both teams. It's the remake and the original.
Yeah.
And they do drag on and on and on, but that doesn't matter. Like, just put it there.
Do you think there's a chance that was just a mistake, though?
No.
I think there is, because I think
what do you think I just forgot? That doesn't make sense.
Dude, I think they put so little effort into this remake.
There's no such thing as so little effort. Even so little effort requires a team of people working on this for like over a year.
That's a
Games
good
are not
point.
that easy to make. You can't just like shit this out. It still took professionals a long time going to work and like doing all this. They had meetings and somebody at a meeting decided not to include these credits. Don't say that they just forgot. There's no possible way. This isn't like us making YouTube videos. We don't just like shit them out and forget stuff.
There's a possible way, at least.
I don't think
if it's done sloppily, there's a possibility that they just forgot.
No.
Anyway, it could be added in later, along with fixing the other issues.
You think they're gonna patch in credits?
If they're dedicated to fixing all the other issues with the port, then I think they might.
No, because that would be admitting that they fucked up by not including them, and they're not going to do that.
I don't think admitting that you messed up is that big of a deal. I think that's fine.
It is, though. You don't know how corporations work. Nintendo especially never admits when they fuck up. Like, ever.
They didn't. Nintendo didn't.
It's the same thing, like, everybody is talking about Joy-Con drift, right? They think that Nintendo is going to come out and say, oh, we're fixing Joy-Con drift this time.
Yeah, no.
They're not going to say that, because that would be admitting that there's a problem in the first place. It's the same deal with this. They're not going to admit that not having the credits is a problem, so they're not going to fix it.
They have second-handedly acknowledged the Joy-Con drift issue several times, though.
But they're not going to
come out with a big thing like, yeah, we messed up. I agree.
Exactly.
But I would say
never
like
do that.
This is also not Nintendo who made this port, though. So I feel like
Nintendo's responsible. It's a Nintendo property.
Yeah.
Nintendo oversees. It's on their system. It stars fucking Donkey Kong. Yes, I don't care what like little studio did it. Nintendo's responsible for this.
Okay. Well, we could also talk about how we both played the original Donkey Kong Country together recently.
We did, yeah. I went up to your house and we
Did.
played it in that very room that in that ethereal void that you're in.
Yes. Yeah, I had fun.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah, I mean, you hard carried the first half of the game for sure, but I feel like towards the end, once I realized I could sprint, I was able to contribute more.
I feel like I hard carried pretty much everything that wasn't a barrel minigame, but no, you did the entire final boss. I was controllers off for the final boss.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed my time. I think it's, for some reason, I feel like that game has kind of been a punching bag almost online, but only for the past few years. People talk up 2 and 3, and a lot of people don't talk up 3, but a lot of people talk up 2.
I talk up 3.
They view Donkey Kong Country 1 as just lesser.
It is, but it's still a great game. It looks and sounds incredible. The music is like some of the best in video game history.
So you think 2 and 3 are just better games?
Yes, in every way.
Well, I'm interested to see how I feel, because first I am going to replay that game by myself.
As you should.
And then I think I'm going to go ahead and just play 2 and 3, because I own all 3 I own the Super Famicom versions of those games because they're way cheaper. And, FYI to anyone out there looking for Super Nintendo games, they work on, Super Famicom games work on your Super Nintendo. And if reading Japanese is not really a big part of the game, like in the Donkey Kong Country games, in a game like Super Mario Kart, just get the Super Famicom version and save yourself a lot of money.
But you can't listen to Cranky Kong. There were multiple times when we were playing through it to be like, oh, what does Cranky have to say? Oh, right. Yeah.
Does he? Is it voiced over?
What the fuck are you talking about? Is it voiced over? No, he is text. We couldn't read
the
it.
text. Yeah, I'm not sure I care too much. Yeah, a Cranky just waving his cane. I mean, that's about as much as I would have picked up anyway.
I mean, I guess you got everything you're going to get out of it. He hits Diddy a few times. That's about it.
But I guess one more thing, touching on what is fair to expect in a remake of a game. I think that this port is bad because I think it's fair to expect in a remake that everything is going to work properly. That's fair to expect. It's fair to expect that there's not going to be multiple downgrades in this port.
Yeah, sure.
So I think it's totally fair, all of the hate that this game is getting. I mean, neither of us was going to buy this.
No. Of course not.
So
I'm not a big fan of the game in general.
Really?
So,
well,
it's all right.
I played half of it, but it was on the 3DS, and I think that I don't know. Maybe the 3DS is the spot to play. Honestly, I was going to say that I feel like Wii has got to be better.
When this came out, I got it on the Wii. I was excited. I spent real kid money on this, and I threw it away and just didn't throw the game away, but I put it back in the case and discussed only playing 1 or 2 levels because you gotta shake the fucking nunchuck to roll.
Well, you don't have to do that in the 3DS version.
No. And that's when I played through it. I finished it on 3DS, and it's an alright game.
Did you play Tropical Freeze?
Nope. I did buy it, though, for Wii U, because I bought every Wii U game.
I actually played through more of Tropical Freeze. I played through almost that entire game, but we didn't beat the final boss. Yeah,
it's very set-piecey. That's the thing with the modern DKC games.
Yeah, it kind of funnels you through a set piece. That's part of why, when people say it's the perfect 2D platformer, I've seen a lot of people say this. Definitely hard disagree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of popular takes over here on the Waiting for Nintendo channel, such as Metroid Prime being overrated trash and
it is.
Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze being overrated trash.
The most fun I've ever had in Metroid Prime is 2's multiplayer. I played a decent bit of that.
Okay, I need to go on the record and say I love Metroid Prime.
Do you?
I do.
No, you're wrong.
No, I don't.
It's trash. It's trash. There's lots of Donkey Kong Country barrel with bird going up and down moments in that game.
Well,
What about the parts where you're just walking around and then there's a door that's go find the 4
that's just locked
glyphs to scan.
Yeah.
They pulled that trick 3 different times. That shit sucks. That's fucking trash can
We can't.
design.
This
That
is not.
sucks.
We're not doing this right now. We
Why
can't-
not? Okay, all right. Move on. Move on. Whatever.
want to.
It'll be a topic some other day.
We'll save a big Metroid Prime discussion for later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
All right.
But I mean, that's another game that also just got a remake, and
It did.
people were very happy with how that one came out.
You know, that's a good point. People were extremely happy with the remake. I didn't get it because I own the GameCube version, and I'm kind of not
I got it.
a remake in general fan. I do buy them. I just I'm very, very picky about when I do.
That was my giving Metroid Prime one last chance moment.
So you gave it
and
one
failed.
last shot.
Yeah.
Can I
It's
ask
a bad-
how many
I don't
hours
like-
you tried?
Probably like 5 or 10. I don't know.
That's, you know what? That's fair. And at the same time, like, it's okay that you don't.
I
like
know
it.
where I got to. I got to the part where you get the ability to go up the half pipes,
Yeah, with in the
and I
morph
didn't
ball?
want to. I didn't want to look for the half pipes, so I was done.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
I mean, that is the kind of game that it is. Do you like
Yeah.
other kind of Metroidvania games?
That's the thing with me and Metroidvanias, is I've learned over time that I don't like the genre. I just like Super Metroid and Symphony of the Night.
Okay. You know, those are two games, embarrassingly, that I haven't played.
Yeah. But like every other one I've tried, I've just not been a fan of. Like I was really excited for Bloodstained before it came out.
Yeah.
And then it came out and I didn't care about it. I've tried Hollow Knight, didn't care about it.
I loved Hollow Knight. Did you try Blasphemous?
I don't know what that is.
It's kind of like a Dark Souls-ish looking game. One of
Oh
those.
no, okay, I know exactly the game you're talking about now. Yeah, yeah. I've
Or
seen
Salt
that
and Sanctuary
play, but it
is
just doesn't
another one.
interest me.
Have you
I've
heard
tried
of,
the other like Metroid games too. Like I've tried Metroid Fusion, that's trash compared to Super. I've tried Zero Mission, that's trash compared to Super. Like
Well,
it's yeah.
What about...
Dread was good. Dread was the closest like
Okay.
Metroid game that I've enjoyed that isn't Super really.
Yeah, and I haven't played that one.
You haven't played Dread? Oh, no wonder it wasn't on your list.
Yeah, it wasn't on my list because I didn't play it.
Okay, well.
There
thought
was
you just
one
didn't
more
like it
thing,
that
though,
much.
that you had brought to my mind. I'm trying to remember it.
Well, it's gone.
Well, we were talking about Metroid. We were talking about No, we were talking about Metroidvanias, Symphony of the Night, Super Metroid. Oh, yeah. Cave Story. Have you tried that?
Not like seriously.
I think you'd like it.
Oh, I was thinking of Meat Boy in my head. No, I've never played Cave Story.
You have played it? You haven't?
No, I have not.
Okay. Yeah. I think
When you said Cave Story, my mental image went to Super Meat Boy. And I'm
I
like,
don't
yeah, I
know
guess
why.
I've tried that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we should move on to the next topic.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Cut.